Shemai, Croeso. Welcome to the CVM Cymru Podcast. John Rydwi, I'm John, and as I am out and about, travelling across Wales on behalf of CVM Cymru, meeting up with different people, I'm going to be riffing on men's ministry here in Wales. Sometimes we'll be recording episodes in English, sometimes yn Gymraeg, in Welsh. Sometimes it'll be just me riffing with a coffee in my hand, and sometimes I'll have other guests with me, proper, honest guys who have amazing stories of what Jesus has done in their lives and are doing incredible things around this great nation of Cymru. And they're going to share what they're doing and what it looks like to follow Jesus. Now, this first episode is just a bit of an introduction, really. Who are we? What is this podcast all about? And why men's outreach really matters. So if I could just take a minute, let's just be real. A lot of blokes out there are drifting. Life is proper busy. It's stressful. Sometimes it's confusing. We've all got a ton of responsibilities, loads of bills to pay, family stuff going on, work pressure, and underneath it all, and often really quietly but constantly in our minds, a question comes to us. What is this really all about? And I've got to be honest, from what I hear, church isn't always the place men end up. Well, some of us grew up in church, others ran from it. And for a lot of guys, it just doesn't feel like a space that connects well with them. That's where CVM, Christian Vision for Men, comes in. And that's what CVM Cymru is literally all about. Having said that, there is a report out right now called The Quiet Revival. And that, really encouragingly, is showing us that some younger guys are finding their way to the church. They're genuinely looking for answers and they're asking the church questions. Let's hope that they find the answers to the questions that they're asking. So here in Wales, we want to see men meet Jesus. That's why we exist, CVM Cymru. Not just to hear about him, not just to sit through a service, but actually to encounter the living God who radically changes lives. For me, men's outreach isn't just about men's groups, though being able to do life in the company of other men is really important. For me, it's more about mates reaching their mates with God's good news. Newyddion Da Duw. It's about being real about our struggles, honest about our doubts, and courageous enough to step up and follow Jesus wholeheartedly. Over the years, I've seen it so many times. One guy gives his life to Jesus, decides to take his faith seriously, and suddenly his whole world starts shifting around him. His family notices, his mates notice, his priorities day to day in life change. And that's what really excites me. That's why we're doing this podcast, in fact. We're seeing this happen every day across Wales, and we want to share the really good stuff with you. Because the truth is, Cymru, Wales, needs men who love Jesus and put him first in their lives. Not perfect men, not religious blokes who've got it all together, but real men men who know they need grace every day, who want to grow more and more like Jesus, and who care enough to bring their friends along for the ride too. So what's the CVM Cymru podcast going to sound like? Well, think of it like this. It's not going to be a sermon. It's not a lecture. It's more like chatting between mates. We'll talk about life, faith, courage. We'll talk about failure, family, humour. We'll talk about temptation. We'll talk about community. We're literally going to be talking about it all. Some episodes, as I said earlier, will be interviews. I'll be sitting down with guys from all across Wales. Church leaders, plumbers, farmers, teachers, bikers, dads, rugby players, football players, everyday men. Men who've got stories to tell. And other episodes will be a bit more like this one. Just me, on the road, somewhere weird, riffing, reflecting, sharing what I'm discovering, light-hearted, fun, but also with some real serious teeth to get into the issues that matter. And we'll switch languages now and again, because God's good news, Newyddion Da Duw, is just as important and powerful in Gymraeg as it is in English. Now, I want to say something really serious. Men's outreach is not an add-on to church life. It's a mission in its own right. It's evangelism. It's discipleship. It's front line. And we do it in partnership with the church, but it is critically important. Think about it like this. When a man encounters Jesus, everything changes. His family, his kids, his marriage, his mates, his workplace. That's the ripple effect that will change a whole community and even the entire nation, the whole nation of Wales. And I reckon, if I'm honest, one of the biggest lies the enemy, Satan, feeds men is this: you're on your own. You're the only one doing this. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets you. Nobody cares. But we here at CVM Cymru are here to say that's not true. You are not on your own. There are men all over Wales who are trying alongside you to walk this same road. Some are stumbling, some are on their knees, some of them are in pain, some of them are thriving, but all of us are learning together as we go. And that's what this podcast is about. Building community, introducing men to Jesus, creating bands of brothers who stand shoulder to shoulder no matter what. And every step of the way, we're going to be real about the challenges. Whether that's mental health, faith in the workplace, what it means to lead at home, to be a good husband, a good father, good brother, whatever, strong but gentle, and how to handle failure. And through it all, we'll keep coming back to the same truth. It's Jesus, and only Jesus, who can make us men really come alive. So maybe you're listening today and you've drifted a bit in your faith. Or maybe you've actually never had a faith in the first place, but you're curious. Somehow you stumbled across this. Well, let me say this. This podcast is for you no matter where you are. You don't have to have it all together, know all the answers. You don't have to be the churchy type. You just have to be open to the idea that maybe, just maybe, there's more to life than what you're seeing right now. And for those of us who are already walking with Jesus, we want this podcast to encourage you too. We want it to fuel you up, to remind you that your faith matters, that your example matters, and that your story might just be what helps another bloke take the first step towards Jesus and start following him for themselves. We've got loads of stuff coming up. Conversations about faith on the side of a rugby pitch, being a dad in today's world, how to share Jesus without being weird, how to deal with pressure, how to find courage again and again. And we're going to be shining a light on what's happening across Wales, because so much is happening to reach men with God's good news. Newyddion Da Duw. We'll share about local men's groups, events that happen across Wales, stories of lives that are being transformed and lived on the front line. We're going to share as much as we can with you. And we want this to be your space. It's your podcast. It's your chance to be something, or part of something, that's more than just about talk. It's about seeing lives changed, communities transformed, and Wales really impacted for Jesus Christ. So here's what I'd love you to do. Hit follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. That way you're not going to miss anything, not a single episode, not a single story, none of my riffing. But also share it. Send it to a mate who might need to hear this, be part of this. Someone who's struggling, someone who's curious, someone who's maybe lost sight of who they really are. Because who knows? Who really knows? One simple message, one conversation, one podcast episode could be the thing that God uses to start something massive in men's lives throughout Wales. So, done a T. That's it. This is the CVM Cymru Podcast. We're here to build you men up, to point you in the right direction, to point you to Jesus, and to have a bit of a laugh along the way as well. John Rydwi o CVM Cymru. Diolch yn fawr iawn for tuning in to this episode. Stay connected, stay encouraged, and remember this, you are never on your own. Tan y tro nesa, gadewch I ni fynd amdani. Until next time, let's go for it. To find out more about either CVM or CVM Cymru, go to our website, cvm.org.uk, and there's also cvm.cymru. If you'd like to stand with us, either in prayer or by supporting us financially via a standing order, a regular standing order, you can set this up via our website too. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Welwn ni chi y tro nesa. See you next time.